You see where it's at. Come tune in, we don't stream with a check. Go Michael Parts and get you a set. Seven my coverage, Deion Sanders. Bet like a Ricky, he a beginner. Cook you a lockup, eat it for dinner. We double coverage, and this is the anthem.
What's up, guys? Mystic Zach here. Welcome back to episode 20 of Double Coverage. Today I'm joined by UFC Hall of Famer, the California Kid, Mr. Urijah Faber.
What's up, brother? Thanks for having me. Thanks for hanging out.
Thanks for letting me into your city, my first time in Sacramento.
Yeah, I mean, this is, we're right on the busy street. There's probably some funky folks walking around, but we'll take a look at the rest of Sacramento after this.
Yeah, no, there were some potential world star moments
Yeah.
out there. I was checking out the scene before we got here, but I think we'll have more fun tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we got a Battle at the Hive tonight. So this is the first ever combat program out of university, and they're going to have a bunch of college kids fighting each other. It's right up your alley.
It is.
Yeah,
we have Mike Tyson on, and he's really fighting to get the youth into boxing, and we talked about how much you gain out of I know, because I was boxing as a kid. I mean, in terms of respect, confidence, everything, getting into combat. What can getting MMA as a potential chance for college scholarship do for kids?
I mean, it's big, especially at the college level. There's never been anything like this. Luckily, President Luke Wood came in hot with a passion for boxing, a passion for mixed martial arts. My gym, as you guys will see later, is literally right across the street from the university. You can walk on campus, and he was like, there's already a relationship here. There's people that are coming from all over the U.S., all over the world to Sacramento to be a part of my gym. And a couple of the students reached out to him, and he was like, bro, let's make a thing. And we instantly kind of clicked and threw this thing into fruition. And it's been 2 years now. We got guys and girls that are traveling from all over the world, getting assistance with visas and getting help with school and like a real path to mixed martial arts. And so it's been big, man. I mean, it's been literally something that is hopefully going to change the game, period.
You, Shaq, Mike Bibby.
Yeah, Sac State's no joke, man. We're just making headlines and getting some big names involved, and it's the first time for Sac State. We need a little clout in the Sac area. It's we get no love, and that's changing. So I'm pumped for that.
No, me too. It's always been a hot spot for MMA.
Yeah.
Especially with you and what you do, Team Alpha Male, and then the Diaz brothers and Stockton, 209. So
yeah, I just talked to Nate this morning. He was going to try to come join us, but he said he's jam-packed until the fight.
It's a big fight.
Yeah, it's a huge fight.
I mean, Netflix getting into mixed martial arts, teaming up with MVP and Jake Paul. What do you think of that? Do you think they have a real shot at making an imprint in MMA?
I mean, first off, absolutely. Without getting into the details of why, just the answer is yes to anybody that believes in themselves, and they're doing the right recipe. They've got experts involved. They're taking talent that's super established and exciting. The fights are going to be great. You've got the Rousey Gina Carano fight, and you got Nate representing. He looks huge, by the way. That's what I told him. I was like, man, he got his old man strength. He's literally filled out. He used to be so super skinny. I mean, I've trained with that guy for years, but these guys are, they understand about getting attention. Promotion is all about getting attention, making sure that people are putting their eyes on it, willing to tune in, and they're gonna start in the right direction with some big money, some big players, and that's really what needs to happen, is a little competition.
Yeah, I mean, you got Nate Diaz versus Mike Perry, which is the people's main event.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't do better than that from entertainment, violence. You talk about BMF. Those are two BMFs.
Yeah.
Co-main event, the lineal heavyweight champ, Ngannou. I mean, he's a potential someone whenever he gets in there.
Yeah, he's a dangerous dude.
And then main event, Rousey making a return, one of the biggest stars in the history of the sport. You got an action star in Gina Carano. People have been wanting to see get back in there.
Yeah.
They did their thing.
Gina, I mean, for those that don't know about Gina, she was the real pioneer in the female sport. Her and I were actually in a documentary on MSNBC that kicked off both of our careers way back, maybe 2006 or so, called Warrior Nation. And, her dad was an NFL quarterback. They own the Carano wineries, and they have casinos out in Reno. Like, she's got a very unique background to be an attractive female that decided to take this path for a career. So that history alongside Rousey and what she brings to the table, I mean, I'm excited for that fight. But like you said, the people's fight is, the two bad boys, and they're going to be yelling at each other off. Hopefully see some big knockdowns and a fight that's all over the place. I'm pumped for that.
Yeah, Perry's favored.
Is he?
Yeah, he is. He's getting love.
Perry's like, he's like, if you find your purpose in life, him in gritty, like, tough situations is like his calling. He's, even the fact he took out Luke Rockhold and bare knuckle, he became like the bare knuckle guy. I wouldn't have thought that somebody could be made for that sport specifically, because he was a pretty good MMA fighter and he's pretty good at everything else, but that like speaks to his soul. The bare knuckle, teeth getting knocked out and this and that. But Diaz he's very, very well rounded, very savvy. He's unassuming because the way he fights is like, it's like a energy zapping style. It's like in your face. It's gonna be like touch. It's volume. It's never compounding energy. So he's never gonna get like jump into a big shot. He's gonna always roll with the punches. So I think Nate's gonna be the favorite.
This is a guy who sparred with Andre Ward and is a legit Gracie black belt.
Yeah, and I mean, and he loves to fight.
Yeah,
I mean, Perry has that in his back pocket, that he actually loves to get punched and to punch people. Like, not everyone's. I wasn't that guy. I was like, I'm gonna hit you. You're not gonna hit me.
Yeah.
and he'll like bite down and get after it. Nate's the same way. So, these guys both love to fight, and they're both gonna bring a different element of competition here because they're both kind of like, make it personal in the moment. So I'm excited for that fight. But I think Nate'll get this one for sure.
Me too. And Trey's Nate was like, he said the UFC offered him the McGregor trilogy, and he chose this.
Yeah, well, that's because of the money, and that's what you have to do to compete. Like, I wish Nate was here today with us because we've had some hilarious conversations throughout the years. But my favorite conversation I ever had with Nate was about his comprehension of finances, which was zero. Him and his brother, like growing up, he's like, we lived with our mom. We never paid for anything. We're just kids, And he said he went on the Ultimate Fighter show and he won like $15,000. And we're sitting at the airport, like we just happened to be there together, and so we're in the lounge just chilling, like BSing. And he says, he goes, yeah, I'm looking at Dana, and Dana's like, hey, congratulations, check for $15,000. And Nate's like, I'm rich. He thinks he's rich. He has no idea what $15,000 is. So he's like, I'm gonna get my mom a house. I'm getting a car. I'm getting my mom a house.
Yeah.
And this and that. And he says his buddy owned a car dealership, and he like shows up to the dealership, and he's like looking around, and his friend's like, oh, what are you looking at? He's like, I want that. And he points to like a badass car, and he's like, well, how much you working with? He's like, I got $15,000. And the guy was like, let me show you over here. And he like quickly got like a reality check on like, what the going on? And then he said I went to my brother and I said, man, we're dumb. That's what he said to his bro. But these guys have leveled up their life skills. They've leveled up, what money means to them, what's a lot, what's a little, just, through the school of hard knocks and being in the business. So they're going to take the bigger payday. And for those guys, the door's always open, It's because they're real,
When he fought Jake, I was like Team Jake, and I was back there, and we have a friend, D-Cut, who likes to like rattle the other team or whatever, and he was trying that with the Diaz camp.
Yeah.
I was out here screaming and yelling. I'm like, what is that? They're like, it's D-Cut with the Diaz brothers. I'm like, I'm not going out there. I just sat down and waited for him to come back. I'm good.
Yeah.
After they fought, he's got a rough crew.
Yeah.
They were like, I guess some of Jake's guys, his guys getting into it. Well, I have like this friend, he's like a car dealer. He's not trying to fight anyone. One of them, bare knuckle guy, was like, I'm gonna Go up. He's like, I started running.
Yeah.
I was with Zab Judah. Nate
Yeah.
comes up. He's like, Zab, you're my favorite fighter ever, man. I love you. He was super cool.
That's,
But
there's levels to the game of and those guys are not like they described it well. Nick was like the school didn't work out for him. He's like I was fighting all the time, and they're like, why don't you just not fight? He's like, well, in where we're from, you either fought or you're gonna be the and you're gonna get picked on every single day.
Yeah.
And I kept saying, he didn't want to fight, but it's like you got to stand up for yourselves. And so they're good guys. Like Nate's a family man. He's their grandfather was the track coach at their high school, but they're in a rough place and they're not going to be.
No, definitely not. Don't accuse them of that.
So it's an interesting dynamic for sure.
No, they're MMA royalty. So
yeah.
I mean, getting to see him back is awesome. I saw Nick. He was like grappling with Tyson Fury.
Nick?
That was crazy. Yeah, he was grappling with Tyson
crazy.
Fury in the ring.
That's funny.
But he was super nice to everyone. Super cool.
What's up, guys? Mystic Zach here, a.k.a. your host of Double Coverage, a.k.a. the biggest sports fan in the world. There's no company that lets you rep sports better than Fathead. They've got you covered when it comes to the NFL, the NBA, the MLB, the NHL, college sports. They allow you to rep your favorite team, whether you're Bills Mafia, Raider Nation, or my favorite team, Cowboys Nation. Growing up, I had a Des Bryant Fathead that sat above my wall every single day. And Fathead, I can personally say, is one of my favorite companies out there. And if you're a true sports fan like me, you'll love their product. Go to fathead.com, show us love, tell the Mystic Zach sent you. Please, fathead.com. I support this product and I personally endorse their stuff because I love it.
Did you say you were with Zab Judah?
Yeah, I was.
Dude, I had the best experience with Zab Judah. Zab Judah, I think, wrestled a little bit in high school, and his dad's a kickboxer.
Yes.
Right? And
yes,
so
you're well.
Back when I first started fighting, I was like 2005 or so, 2004. I was in Vegas for like a long stint, and I was actually with my buddy who was dating a stripper, and I went out there to stay with I was with Randy Couture, and I brought my high school girlfriend at the time, and we all shared a room with Randy. Randy had like 9 people in his little double bed room in Mandalay Bay. And Chuck Liddell fought Tito Ortiz. And so we started out with staying with Randy for the fight week, which was cool. And then my buddy wanted to stay with his girlfriend and her girlfriend. And slowly our like living conditions got worse and worse. And we were hanging out with this. Next thing you know, it's like 5 days in. And I hadn't like seen the light of day in a couple days. I'm like, what the on? So we're going to 24-hour fitness in the middle of the night, and Zab Judah and Floyd Mayweather like were there at the same time as us, like 10:30, 11 at night, and they have a one-on-one basketball game, and we're like in the locker room with Zab. Zab was cool. Floyd's talking in third person, saying it must have been a long time ago because he was saying, I get $3 million every time I lace him up, and blah blah blah. And then they had their whole crews there, and they had this one-on-one basketball game, and I just happened to be there at like midnight at 24-hour fitness. No one knew who I was because I was new in my career, and looking back, I'm like, man, that was like some Forrest Gump. Like
that's crazy. So
yeah, it's crazy.
So I grew up with Zab. He's from Brownsville, like Shannon.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
My dad was super cool with him. One time, my dad's really fast for a white guy.
Yeah, running.
He's like a very good sprinter for a white guy. And
for a white guy,
dude, and
how many
Zab's
times you gonna say there's some fast white guys out there?
Well, just compared to Zab
just
Judah,
messing
you
with you.
can't.
Yeah.
So Zab's like, well, you can't ever mess with me. My dad's like, all right, let me get a 10-yard head start. So they went and like in a little street, whatever, and they, boom, Zab blew by him, and I was like, holy, I've never seen someone run that fast. Yeah,
that's funny.
Zab's blazing.
Zab
But I
is
love
sick.
Zab. Yeah, we went to the Jake fight together. I love Zab. And Floyd's always been super cool too.
Yeah, he was cool. He was always cool to me. I ran into
And that's how he
Floyd.
talks.
Yeah. He's in third person. He's hyping himself up. Well, what was happening was that it was at the same time as the national wrestling tournament. So there was like Floyd's pretty ripped, but he's not ripped like the world class wrestlers that are cutting weight, like professionally cutting weight. So we're in there with all these ripped dudes, and he was like sizing everyone up, and he was saying, I'm hubbed up like a wrestler too. Difference is I get $3 million when I strap him up. So he was like, talking himself up, but also a little intimidated probably. And Yeah, it was a freaking hilarious interaction that I'll never forget. And then I met him another time, and he was, his uncles like to watch me fight because I had the cornrows and whatnot. So he said something about that. But yeah,
I saw Floyd in the heat tunnel like a few years ago. He was like, "I'm the best ever. No one will ever with me." And it was like we're just all chilling. I'm like, "No, you're good.
Congrats, bro.
We believe you.
Yeah,
50-0. Like we get it." Oh, he was going on and on. I was like, "Okay, all right." AB was there. I was like, "Oh Jesus, it's a crazy
funny,
crew."
man.
But that's funny. Both those guys. It's crazy.
So are you gonna go to the MVP fights?
I'm going. Are you going?
I haven't got tickets yet. I haven't thought about it yet. When is it?
It's this coming Saturday. It's May 16th.
Oh no,
It's soon.
I'm marrying my brother's getting married.
Oh, congrats.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm going tonight. You coming tonight too?
I'm coming tonight.
Yeah, we got.
Yeah, maybe I'll bring Zab next week.
Yeah. Oh, I'd love to see Zab.
Yeah, man, I'll FaceTime after.
Yeah, that'd be cool, man.
Yeah,
I literally, he was such a humble dude back in the day, and was he Olympic? Was he an Olympic boxer too?
I don't know if he's an Olympic
I don't know if he boxed Olympics.
6-time world champion.
Yeah.
And he just talked about how he and Floyd were friends and they still fought.
Yeah.
And these boxers today, like Shakur and Keyshawn Davis, like, "Oh, we're friends. We're never going to fight." He's like, "Oh, that's not real boxing, man. We were friends, but I thought I was the best. He thought he was the best, and we got it on."
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. That's the way it should be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've had some experiences like that, right?
Yeah, a couple. I fight quite a few of my friends. Mostly, no, I fought them as I've been friends. I fought a guy, Scotty Jorgensen, that was a really good friend of mine. Eddie Wineland. I fought, Brian Bowles and Charlie Valencia, all really good friends of mine. Plays with Dom now,
Yeah.
We always had kind of a
Frenemy.
Yeah, frenemy relationship. We had some weird interactions at times, but
He's killing it. We're talking about Rampage killing it with streaming. Dom's killing it with podcasts.
Yeah, he's doing well. Yeah, I was his first guest, which was like, he kept hounding me, and he's like, "Bro, it's just fitting you're the first guest," and we had a great podcast. And it was, who else was there at the same time? Travis Barker was there at the same time. And Travis and Dom and I have history from way back in the day because Travis sponsored me first, and then I was going to do my own thing, and then they started sponsoring Dom, and this is back at I don't know, it was MySpace or what the social media was at that time, but me and Dom were talking back and forth, and Travis chimed in, and I'm like, this is so funny, 20 years later or whatnot, doing the podcast, and we're all in the same room. It was fun reliving that.
What a trio.
Yeah.
Yeah, 18, 20 years later.
Yeah, it was nuts.
Yeah, we were talking about, before we started, the history of MMA promotions and kind of the minutia of that. Talking about WEC, now that was the premier organization for the lighter weight classes.
Yeah, so the way it works, and for those that don't know the history of our sport, I think it wasn't until around 2005 or so where mixed martial arts was even legal in the state of California. Before then, and that's why Dana have such a great relationship. Donald was one of the first guys that was letting Dana have UFC shows in big venues in states where it was legal. But there was a lot of states that weren't okay with mixed martial arts, and it took a lot of politics and everything else. So Dana and Lorenzo bought the UFC, I think around 2000, maybe 2004 or so. They did the Ultimate Fighter around that time, 2005. But before then, it was Pride in Japan, and it was 3 events a year for the UFC. And since then, the UFC has dominated the space. They got billionaire family that are business savvy, that have a passion for mixed martial arts. A guy like Dana White that's all in on the sport and knows business, is street savvy. But there's been a lot of different organizations, and the WC was one that UFC bought early on. So I was at a time where they didn't have my weight class in the UFC. The lightest weight class was 170 pounds. So if I wanted to fight, I was fighting on Indian reservations, King of the Cage, Gladiator Challenge, TKO. I was doing one-off fights wherever I could and just trying to claim that I was the best lightweight fighter on the planet. One of the organizations I fought for was the WEC, and I fought for them at the Tachi Palace out on Northern California, and that's the only place they have it. It was on HDTV, which was Mark Cuban's station. So Cuban was early in on the MMA sport. And so the WEC was bought by Zuffa, the UFC, and that's anybody that saw me on TV with the WEC was under the UFC. So they had two opportunities to employ fighters. They had two sets of sponsors for drinks, two sets of TV deals. They employed, all the lightweight fighters, 125s, 135s, 145s, 155. And at first they had a couple other weight classes, like Chael Sonnen was originally the champion at the WEC. And they eventually took away all the common weight classes and just had the WEC as the lightweights until they merged in 2011. So all the fights that happened on TV was the UFC running the WEC as the lightweight division.
Yeah, like there's a short list of incredible fighters who never got to be UFC champions.
Yeah.
And your name's always like one of the first ones brought up. Chael as well.
Yeah.
And Chael talked about like when I beat Paulo Filho, I was the best on the planet.
Yeah.
It just wasn't the UFC championship,
right.
And obviously we know Hendo, the guy knocked out Fedor. I mean, it was a middleweight, so obviously.
Dude, Hendo's the best, man. I love friggin' Hendo. But
and an Olympic wrestler.
Yeah, Olympic wrestler that never wrestled.
And just
tried to knock
had
dudes
FU
out.
power, the Hendo bomb, like, oh my God.
Yeah, so the WEC before we actually merged with the UFC officially was actually the UFC still. So Demetrius Johnson, Dominick Cruz, Jose Aldo, Benson Henderson, Anthony Pettis, Cowboy Cerrone, the list goes on of all the fighters that were the WEC kind of royalty that eventually came over. And I had 4 attempts at the UFC title, but I didn't get into the UFC. They didn't merge until I was in my early 30s.
Yeah.
So in my early 30s is finally when I was able to get into the UFC name, and they just first took the WC name off of Jose Aldo versus Urijah Faber as a pay-per-view. It was the first WC pay-per-view. And then the next fight was Eddie, I forget. Eddie, guy I fought for the first fight in 135 pounds was in the UFC in New Jersey, and then Dominick and I fought for the first 135 pound title, which was a rematch. So
yeah.
I beat him at 145 pounds. He went down and won the 35 pound belt, and then we had the first title fight for the 135 pound division in the UFC. Even though we'd already fought in the WC.
Even though you'd already fought for a title in the WEC.
Yeah.
So it's almost like a technicality at that point.
Yeah, it's a technicality, but it doesn't matter because people don't know what they're talking about. And for me, I just can hang my hat on, I'm a professional fighter that was the best in the world, period. And I'm proud of all the attempts that I took for years and years and years at being the very best. I was in the top 2 for 11 years. Of my division, which was awesome.
You fought Petr Yan your last fight.
Yeah, 40.
You were crazy SOB.
Yeah,
he's the champ now for a reason. Like,
yeah, it's funny when I met Petr Yan, I was cornering in Singapore, I think, or somewhere in China, and we walked past each other, and he stopped me, and he's like, oh, he was like a fan and wanted to take a picture. He told me a story how he was supposed to come train with us, but it didn't work out, and this and that. When I met him, I think I was 37 at the time. I still had that and I was already retired. I had that when you meet another guy that you want to test, I just wanted to test him. I could tell he wanted to test me. I'm like that still. When somebody comes to my gym, I'm grappling him. I'm putting hands. We're gonna see where he's at, even though I'm much older now. And when I first met him, I was like, I want to fight this guy. I was
You're crazy, bro.
It didn't happen until 3 years later.
Yeah.
But it's just an animal thing. I don't know. It's just a alpha thing, I guess. And I wish I would have fought him when I was 26 because I was 40 and he was 26. I was doing pretty well, but I got too relaxed and caught me once, and then he caught me twice.
I mean, he's tough to fight if you're 26. 40 is
yeah.
He's
yeah. And I came out of retirement just prior to that. I fought
Simone.
Yeah, Ricky Simone. That was coming out of retirement
Oh my
because I was
God.
just bored.
Was
and
that your favorite moment in your career?
that wasn't my favorite moment in my career because it didn't mean as much to me. I was purely doing that for fun. Like when I retired, I did one real estate transaction that made more money for me than my whole career fighting. And so I was able just to fight because I wanted to fight, and I just felt like, like it was something I just was bored and I wanted to do it and I was excited to do it, and that's the same reason I retired. So it wasn't my greatest moment, but it was one of them. And I think most of my big moments were fights that were in California for sure, or in my hometown. And so I fought a lot of fights there. I fought Jens Pulver. That was a great one. I fought Rafael Sunsao. I fought Jose Aldo. I fought Mike Brown where I broke my hands and dislocated my thumb. And, I fought Michael McDonald on Fox. That was a big one. Those are all in Sacramento. Those are my most exciting fights. The Ricky Simone fight was another one in Sacramento, so that's up there.
The pop was so loud.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Like when it hit California Love,
Yeah.
it went ballistic.
Yeah,
and then when you finished him, it was like even louder.
Yeah, that was crazy. I had a lot of great fan moments. That's what I would say. Like as a retired athlete, those moments are the things that you kind of miss. Is like the actual moments where you're like you're a star at that time, and like rock stars, they're doing that shit all the time. But for fighters, I did it 46 fights, and most of them were on a smaller scale. I had, or not most of them, the beginning of them were like at Indian casinos where like people could spill beer on you while you're fighting.
I've been to a few of those.
Yeah, so those are the greatest, man. But those moments are pretty epic. Yeah, that was a good one.
Gets addicting, right?
It is addicting, yeah. It's addicting. There's a lot of things addicting about our sport. And I'm still in it.
You're still a crazy SOB because you're
Yeah.
taking the toughest guys in RAF.
Yeah.
You're going against Olympic gold medalists. You're getting guys way bigger and younger than you.
Yeah.
And then when Armin slammed you off the stage, I was pissed.
Yeah.
I'm a bigger fan of you. I mean, I
Yeah.
like Army's current, but I'd still like to stick up for the OGs.
Yeah.
And you were like, it's part of it.
Yeah, it's all good, man.
You didn't
We're
care.
tough guys. I honestly, that was definitely foul play, and it is what it is. But I didn't think anything other than like just boys being boys.
Yeah, we were mad for you.
We're rolling off the mat onto the cement like happened before. It's like, chose a tough life.
You wake up sore the next day?
He fixed my back. I wasn't joking. I posted a video, and for these wrestling matches, first off, RAF, those that don't know, RAF is Real American Freestyle, and it's the most successful attempt thus far to make conventional Olympic style wrestling mainstream, and they're doing an amazing job. My buddy Chad and Izzy Martinez and Lance Palmer, the guys kind of pushing this thing, Chad Bronstein. And so I'm game to grow the sport. I'm game to participate. I love a challenge. I mean, odds big time stacked against me. I'll be 47 next month, and I'm going against Henry Cejudo, who's 10 years younger and the first ever Olympic champion and just retired, fighting world championship level fights. But it's friggin' wrestling, man. I can wrestle 6 minutes in my sleep. I'm good at wrestling. I've gotten better at wrestling, and it's for the sport, and you're getting paid. So, I love what Real American Freestyle is all about, and I'm like, yeah, let's do it. Let's throw caution in the wind. Armand's 2 weight classes above me, the current number one contender, 20 years younger than I am, and I'm all, let's roll. And honestly, the first takedown, I'm not used to wearing shoes, so I slipped and put him up by 8. Otherwise, it would have been a much better match, a much closer match.
Can we get you a guy your age, though?
Yeah, I'm young. That's right here, man.
It's like
Age
they're
is
setting you
mental.
up every time.
Yeah. No, we need to get I told
Maybe an
those guys.
influencer or something. Like, let's just get.
Yeah. Well, I told Chad I had originally an opponent that was 25 pounds lighter than Armand.
Yeah.
And so I had agreed to him, and they announced that match. And then I get a call. I was doing some business stuff out in Georgia, like a 2-day trip. I'm at a layover in Arizona, and so my phone starts getting blown up from Chad Bronstein and then Lance, and they're like, "Hey man, would you go against Armand? He needs an opponent." And I was like, "Bro, he's 2 weight classes above me." Like, yeah, but you can do it. And I'm like, this and that, and I said, then we started negotiating.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right,
That'll
let's
convince
talk
you.
about it.
Yeah.
No, hang up, call back, this and that, and then we decided, yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
No, I love RAF and what they do, and you're right. It is the best attempt thus far.
Yeah. Well, and for wrestling, there's no real pathway to a career as a professional. Never has been. They've tried it a couple times, failed miserably, even with real money behind it and real, some real prowess when it comes to people that know how to promote. But this is different. It has a different feeling. It's a different time. They're doing the right mix of social media influencers, high level world class wrestlers, which has its own
Puts a spotlight on them.
Yeah, it does, but it also it's its own subculture. Like wrestling has a very, very strong cult like following, a lot of participants, and right now the wrestlers follow their favorite wrestler into mixed martial arts if they decide they want to go and be fighters. But not all wrestlers want to go that route of getting punched in the face and everything.
That's been
else.
the only option is like go coach college wrestling or be a fighter.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so now you've got Chad Bronstein's a great business guy and loves the sport of wrestling. Izzy Martinez, the guys that don't know Izzy, Izzy is like he's like larger than life character in the wrestling world. He coached, some of the best fighters on the planet, like John Jones and all the guys out in Chicago and New Mexico, and he's like he's like a real colorful dude, a lot like Dana White, Chad Bronstein, a lot like the Fertitta brothers. So they're doing a right mix of taking the social media prowess, the established wrestling community, the UFC stars that have been built that have this wrestling background that love the sport and want to give back like me, and then they're paying real money. I mean, and it's 6-minute matches. They're doing these fan experiences. The guys that are running the events ran the WWE type of stuff in the past. Like as far as production goes, they're doing like spotlights in the crowd for like fans to engage, and it's like a real experience for these young wrestlers. And now they can go up there and be like, I can someday be on the big stage. Like that's what needs to happen. It's not even a year old, so I'm excited for real American Freestyle.
I promised my guy I'd ask you about this. I don't know if you've seen Adin Ross's Brand Risk Promotions. They stream it on Kick. They get like 500,000 viewers. So they're doing it at the Apex, May 23rd. Dana White's promoting it.
Oh, is he?
Yes, Dana's like in the mixed because the main event fighter is like his frenemy, this guy Bob Menery. I don't know if you know Bob. That's
I know
his
Bob
boy.
Menery, yeah.
But they're all this. So I told Bob.
He does the commentary.
Yeah, so I was with him
hilarious.
yesterday. He's doing an MMA match against Johnny Manziel.
Oh wow!
What are your thoughts on that? Bob's getting some training in. He's getting there, but he's 37, and he said he's got a street fighter mentality.
I talked to Bob not too long ago at I think one of the slap events.
Yeah,
and he was like came up and like we knew each other and we were talking. And then I figured out I follow him and everything else. But who's he fighting?
Johnny Manziel, Heisman Trophy winner.
Heisman Trophy winner. Okay,
yeah,
I'm
NFL
going with him.
quarterback. Yeah.
He's
got the size and the
good for
athleticism.
Bob.
Yeah.
Hey,
Bob made it happen.
You only live once, man.
So Bob's been talking about it. Dana bet 10,000 he won't show up.
I think he'll show up. But there's a big size difference there.
There's a big size difference.
And they're doing an MMA fight.
It's MMA.
Yeah, my money's on the.
Bob's is a wrestler.
Athlete. Is he wrestled?
He said he wrestled in high school at 106 pounds.
We'll have to look deeper into what that means exactly. If he's a legit.
I don't know
wrestler.
either. So I don't know either. I love Bob. I was with him at training. I was like, I'm with Urijah. I'm gonna get his thoughts.
Yeah. So Adin just hit me up like a couple days ago, and then he's like, I said, hey, didn't we meet in like the middle of the night at the same hotel in the lobby, or no, in the hotel room in the Red Rock? And he was just walking, like stumbling with a stack of cash, and we exchanged numbers, I thought. And he's like, yeah, that's right. And then I don't think they're paying enough for me. That kind of, I would do it if it was like real money, but for me, it's not real money.
To fight or commentate?
Oh, to fight.
Okay, I thought they wanted you to commentate it.
Oh, no, he wanted me to fight.
Oh, wow.
He wanted me to fight Anderson Silva's son or something like that.
Oh, Gabe Silva?
Yeah, Gabe Silva.
Yeah, an MMA or boxing?
I don't even know. We didn't get that far. I said,
yeah.
what kind of money are you guys talking
Yeah.
about? And then it died there.
Yeah, no, I get it.
Yeah.
I thought you were gonna say like commentary or something.
Oh, I didn't know if he wanted me to commentate. And then he hooked me up with somebody else who talked to me about like, you know, who would be a good match. I said, bro, I'm not boxing anybody unless it's real money.
Yeah, of course.
You know, wrestling is different. I've been wrestling for 31 years, and I'm, you know, it's 2-minute rounds or 30 minutes. You know, it's different. But I'm not gonna. I mean, I'll box, but for real money. You know?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So that is. Did Adin tell you to ask me that?
No.
Oh.
I just told Bob I was gonna be with you, and I just wanted to.
Oh, okay.
I wanted to get the clip. No, I haven't spoken to Adin. I'm cool with Neon stuff. We did those streams. Maybe we can do a stream with you.
Yeah.
You know, hit the gym, grapple with the robot.
Yeah. We'll get you on the robot.
Yeah, the robot might kick Neon's ass.
Yeah.
Might submit him.
Yeah, he'll probably hurt himself.
He might hurt himself for sure.
He looks
Break
like he might have a rare ability to hurt himself doing anything.
Yeah, he has a knack for it. He's got a couple diseases, and afflictions that affect him.
I don't want to deep dive into that. There's gonna be more the more famous he gets.
they're gonna keep creating. Yeah, the robot might submit him in the first.
That is too funny.
We'll play some B-roll of the robot you were showing me.
Yeah, it's gonna be cool,
legit.
man.
I've never seen anything like that, so that's.
Yeah, my partner Sam, who will be there, he's a crazy genius. We had another business together years ago called Optical Panacea. We were doing these really cool like art photography pictures with like Chael and Anderson and Vanderlei and BJ and you know all sorts of high level world champions. And then he's just a creative dude, got into jiu-jitsu, gets obsessed with stuff, and then he's been building this thing for like 7-8 years, and it's next level. It's been taken off, and you know, we're just about to launch the kids version, which is great. We get Neon on one of the kids versions.
Yeah, that might be more his speed.
Yeah.
That's a tough fight.
Yeah, that's right.
That's a pick 'em.
Yeah, it could go either way. But no, yeah, it's pretty sweet. And then I was gonna ask you, man, what do you think? Because I'm not on the cutting edge of what else happening. It seems like there's always this Twitch stuff. It's like, you know, it went from like Facebook to MySpace to what is the Vine to Twitter to, you know, it's constantly going. What do you think is the next phase of things? You know, who's gonna be making the most money? In what realm is it still gonna be? Instagram, YouTube. What's happened in that whole world, the content creation world?
I think we've moved from the short form stuff to now the long form.
Okay.
Like, I think it's kind of doing a reverse. Like, people's attention spans are so short, so if you can get someone to really tune into you for 30 plus minutes, I think that's what brands want.
Yeah.
You know, that's the long form winning content. So I would say stuff like this.
Yeah, YouTube
is going to be what gets. Yeah,
no,
YouTube
Facebook
for sure.
is
YouTube is king.
Yeah. Facebook is starting to do reels and stuff too now.
Facebook is growing, and they've got some smart people behind it, and they might end up doing a creator program to incentivize people to post more. You can make a lot of money on Snapchat.
Really?
Yeah, a lot of money, a lot of bread.
I was forced to get off Snapchat a long time ago, right when I was having kids.
Oh.
Yeah, just like get off of there. I was like, all right.
That can happen to anyone.
Deal. Yeah. I'm off.
The streamers.
Say no more.
There's different strategies. Some guys just want to be seen as much as possible, so they pay people to clip their stuff.
Yeah.
So they pay them a certain amount for the views that they get clipping their face.
Huh. How does Twitch work?
So that's where you get the content from. So people watch you doing stuff live. Like, let's say we're streaming this, and then I would pay people to take clips of this and post them on TikTok or X or Instagram or YouTube.
Huh. it's a crazy the world. I mean, AI is changing everything. Social
AI.
media is changing everything. Smartphones.
Before we go, we got to talk about UFC White House. This
Yeah.
is the talk of the town. I just had a buddy call me. He's never watched a fight. He's like, are you taking me to the White House card? I'm like, not how that works.
Yeah.
But this is a stat card. We just saw the press conference. Josh Hokit, Alex Pereira, Ilya Taporia. They're barbing back
Sean
and
O'Malley
forth.
too, right?
Sean O'Malley, who's like one of the biggest stars in the sport. He's just chilling. He's like the calm one
Yeah, that's
of
crazy.
this bunch. This is crazy. Justin Gaethje's like a chiller compared to these guys.
Yeah.
Off the chain though, in front of the I mean, could you ever imagine something like this happening in the sport when you were first starting out?
It's pretty crazy how tied in mixed martial arts is to world, which makes sense. Like you go over to Russia, it's like everything's a gang. Like there's the boxers are, the wrestlers are, you know what I mean? It's like your crew, you know? So that's kind of been like that in other countries and whatnot. But now mixed martial arts is like a prominent piece of like the you know, landscape, which is crazy and really cool, and it puts things in perspective, like how close everything is. But yeah, I would never have thought that it'd be at this state right now, and I'm pumped for it. And I think that congrats to Dana and the crew for putting this together. And he'll do any. I mean, he's just like does whatever he wants.
One of the boys.
Yeah, he's like yeah, fights outside at my work. Yeah, let's have fights at work.
He's walking them out.
Yeah. Doing his thing. Oh my gosh, man. It's crazy, bro. I mean, it is wild. And yeah, I'm pumped for it, man. Anything to keep blowing the I'm excited for all the guys on the card. Big fan of everyone that's fighting, and yeah, I'm not sure. I don't think I'm going. I don't think I have anyone on the card. I tend to like if I've got someone I'm cornering, I'm going to fights. Other than that, I want to chill. I've got 2 kids and I want to kick it. But I do have my guys, Song Yadong and Sumujari, that are fighting in Macau at the end of this month. Song's the main event.
Song's a savage.
Yeah, he's fighting. Who's he fighting? Davidson Figueredo, Figgy. So
Tough guy.
they're the main event. Yeah, Song. He might be over at the gym when we go over there. But yeah, it's been fun. I've got my event, the A1 Combat Fights.
Yeah, so that's your promotion, right?
That's my promotion. We're also running the Sac State Battle at the Hive tonight. We're doing that. So, you know, we're holding a bunch of events. We're like the promotion in California, trying to find top talent, sending, you know, future stars to the UFC. We've been, you know, feeding the guys. We're on UFC Fight Pass. So that's been pretty fun.
That's dope.
Yeah.
Gotta ask you about this guy. We want him on the podcast, Josh Hokit.
Oh, yeah.
I was at UFC Miami. I just was watching the clips as you walked in. What do you think of this guy? Because he's kind of an enigma.
Dude, he's great. He's awesome. I mean, he was a high level. I think he wrestled
At Fresno State.
Yeah, at Fresno State.
Played in the NFL.
Played in the NFL. Personality over the moon, and he's a dog. We saw that last fight. Dude can fight, man. He's knocks him down. You know, gets back up. You know, he's a real fighter. So, he's gonna be a big star, man. He's got like, you know, the WWE kind of aura about him, but then he can back it up. So I'm excited for him. I'm a fan for sure.
Dude, he's like light heavyweight size too.
Yeah.
He's not big at all, and he's
No.
going right at Curtis Blades. He's hitting him like,
Yeah, he's a beast.
Yeah.
And he's, you know, he's not afraid to speak up. Not quite as outspoken as Strickland.
He's not quite
I mean,
Who is?
Yeah, Strickland's on his own level, but no, he's gonna be a star, man. Yeah,
No,
if they can get him to the belt, that's gonna be a lot of money for the UFC and for that dude.
They said told Hunter Campbell, this is my new favorite fighter.
Yeah, I believe that.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're about the same size too, I think.
Yeah, they're about the same size.
Yeah.
They can go at it.
Yeah.
They maybe an AI. They asked him if he wanted to fight Derek Lewis on the White House card, like while they were stretching him in.
Yeah.
Dude,
he's a
there
savage.
aren't guys like that anymore. You know, there's a few.
Yeah.
Armand's one of them too.
Yeah.
It's like anyone, anytime, any place. I don't care.
Yeah.
Pull up.
That's it. Yeah. Yeah, Armand. What's up with Armand? He's
the backup.
Oh, he's the backup on the
He
card.
is, yeah.
Okay.
But still, like it's
Yeah.
I mean, he's one of the best in the sport, and he's been dominating for years and years and years.
Yeah.
You'd like to see him get a shot.
I think he's doing the right thing. He's been strategic, hired the right people, done his part, stayed relevant. He's got a nice little schlick that's his thing, you know.
Yeah.
Just the king of wasting food and renting people's cars and stuff.
Yeah, no, he's very rich. We understand that.
Yeah,
How did he feel grappling him? Was he?
He's tough. I mean, he's strong. You know, I'm not quite as agile as I used to be, but I'm strong as shit too. So I didn't feel like outpowered by the guy. But you know, he's young and agile, and he's been, you know, taking wrestling serious. He was tough. Yeah, he felt good.
Nice.
And I think he, like I said, the first takedown, I'm not used to wearing those shoes. I hate wearing shoes. I pretty much like to be barefoot at all times. But I slipped on my first takedown, which was anticlimactic, and then he scored a bunch of points. And then I think, you know, at that point we had some moments that you know that made it last a little longer. But he's good, man. He's exciting. He's smart. Understands what he's doing. He's doing the right things.
I think he'll be a champion.
Yeah, absolutely. And the UFC, now that he's gone and made a name for himself, the UFC's on board. He did his part.
Yeah, no, because we knew he had the skills, but now he's got the name to back it up.
Yeah.
That's the California Kid, Urijah Faber. Thank you for watching Double Coverage.